Hey everybody, happy 20th of April. Welcome to my inaugural YouTube Magic the Gathering Arena deck showcase video. My name is Glenn. I go by CCG Nerd on YouTube and as my screen name for Arena. So let's just dive right into the deck. This is a deck I've been running since the beginning of this set. I was really drawn to the invocation spells, Invoke Justice, Invoke Calamity, Invoke Despair. So I've been really heavy on focusing decks that use those. My first deck actually really focused on Invoke Despair. I came up with iterations kind of trying to copy that. And I realized I hadn't really found like a Boros deck that I was really happy with. And between Invoke Justice and Invoke Calamity, I found a way to kind of make both of those invocations work in one deck. So we've got 61 cards, one extra because I realized I was a land short, so I tossed an extra Amiria's Call-In. Let's just go through the deck list one by one. We've got the Flame Blessed Bolt. It's good, it does 2 damage, it exiles, which is relevant at times. I just felt like I needed at least one 1-drop in the deck to be paired with Invoke Calamity and Lorehold Command, just to have a total of 6 mana value when you cast those, or Doomscar as well. In the 2-drop slot, we've got Professor of Symbology, just to help us learn and get some more lands into play. Getting lands into play every turn is pretty important with this deck, and like your initial mulligan choice should really be dependent on what you've got for lands and what you can get for lands. We've got 2 Test of Talents. These slots have been kind of rotating for me. I've used Invoke Despair, I've used a Sunblade Samurai, I've used an additional Seize the Spoils. For right now I'm running the 2 Test of Talents because the decks that seem to have given me the most trouble are the counterspell type control decks. So Test of Talents I feel like could maybe swing one of those in our favor. We've got Reckless Impulse just as a 1/4. It gets 2 cards off the top of the library. Pretty good value. It's another way to search for early lands if you're a little short. Late game, you'll probably be able to play both cards, so that's pretty great. Rip Apart I've got in is kind of an underrated removal. It does creatures, it does planeswalkers, it does artifacts and enchantments. It also slots in nicely at 2 mana to be cast with an Unexpected Windfall if you do use it via Invoke Calamity. Our 3 slots, we've got more learning to keep the land drops consistent. We've got Igneous Inspiration, little removal, little face damage if you need it, Seize the Spoils, a little ramp here. 2 to 3 is good. I haven't quite settled on the perfect number of those, honestly. I guess your ultimate play would be to drop and Invoke Justice on turn 4 after doing a Seize the Spoils on turn 3 and bringing back the Volemachus Lorehold. So 3, would make that a little more consistent to hit the big money. You could take out an Unexpected Windfall from the 4 slot to do that. I just like the instant speed, especially for those counter magic type matchups. The second they do their Memory Deluge is when you can pop in your Windfall and get it off safely. It's very difficult to have your Windfall, your Seize the Spoils, those type of things countered because you're discarding a card to cast them. So I try to make sure I can get those in safely. We've got 4 Doomscars for removal, great against the aggro decks. 3 might be okay, especially if you'd rather play another Farewell, but 4 makes it most consistent, and we have ways to discard those with Windfall, Seize the Spoils, or the Learn mechanic if we're not needing them. Invoke Justice to bring our permanents back. You can also use it on Symbology, Professor there. The Lorehold is nice because he has haste. You could use it on a land in some rare situations. I've thought about adding some of the more interesting enchantments. Boros does have great enchantments, but I think it kind of waters the deck a little bit to get too much into that. But you could easily add like a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, to your mix if you wanted to have a little bit more permanence to get into play with that. Invoke Calamity. I've kind of mentioned a lot of the different combinations with that. Total of 6 mana value, so a 3 and a 3 like this. You can do a 4 and a 2 like that. A 5 like a Doomscar and a Flame Blessed Bolt. And 1, that works great. We got the Lorehold Command, just a really great swing card. This card has surprised me how often it's just kind of turned the game. You maybe kill 2 creatures with it when they attack by creating a 3/2 blocker and doing 3 damage. You also get some life back, which between this and the environmental sciences, a couple lands that get you life, you do have a little bit of life gain, which is nice. We've got 1 copy of Farewell just to exile everything. It's great. I would sometimes like 2, especially against these enchantment decks that are so prevalent, but 1 seems to get the job done. We've got 2 Amaria's Calls. These are a fairly new addition for me. I'm a fairly free player, so I actually had to use a couple Mythic wildcards to craft those. Same with the Doomscars for these decks. So I did feel strongly enough about this deck to invest a little bit in it, but those seem to be better than just a standard Plains drop. Just for the option of putting some creatures on the board late game. Also, you could cast it with Volemachus if you had him plussed a little bit. Here he is. He's kind of the showcase of our deck. He is what we're doing it all for. I mean, in a perfect world, we can get him out on turn 4 as a 9/9, and he's going to cast a spell that turn. That's a pretty powerful turn 4 play. That's tough for a lot of decks to overcome. I think mono white, mono green, the enchantment decks, if they're not running any removal, once you get a 9/9 flying vigilance haste on the board that's casting spells for free every turn, you're in a pretty good position if your opponent can't get rid of it. I do have an Ondu inversion, Ondu Sky Runes, just as another sweeper, possibly late game. I think a lot of times I have a turn 1 or a turn 2 where I could put in a tapped land and not be too put out by it or too affected by it. So I think it's okay to run one of these just to have another late game sweeper. We got 2 Eganjo Seats. I think it's a great card. I would run 3, but I think just the possibility of running into that as your mana sources is too great. So I think 2 is the most you can run. We've got some plains to be able to grab with our lands. We've also got couple mountains, we've got a Crucible. I'm really not a fan as far as this legendary land. It's probably my least favorite of the bunch, but it doesn't really hurt to have that instead of another mountain. We've got a Deserted Beach for a blue mana, a Stormcarved Coast for a blue mana, a couple pathways, 4 of these. I have a lot of the dual red and white lands just because we do have high costs of each color individually, so that will help with that. We've got 1 World Tree, which I ended up taking out 1 of the Field of Ruins for, just to have like an instant fix to the mana problem if we have 6 on board. The Field of Ruin is nice, but we do have some other instant speed removal for the lands. I've used Doomscar at instant speed with Invoke Calamity quite a bit to get rid of the man lands, and I found that's been pretty effective. The sideboard, we have first our learning things, 2 sciences. I've thought about 3, but I think 2 is good. 3 reduced memories, generally overkill, but sometimes you need that extra removal. Teachings is probably the first one I would drop out. It's not so much having the blue mana, but the fact that I seem to generally keep a lot of cards in my hand. So there's not a lot of times where it's come up, like maybe when I'm already way ahead but I don't need to get any further ahead. So that one's one I've ended up kind of discarding a lot and kind of having in my back pocket and never really needing. And then of course Mascot Exhibition. It's another good way to get some damage on the board. We don't have a great amount of win conditions, so it might be good to maybe drop a Teachings or a Reduced Memory and add one of those. But I've been happy with it like this. I'll do a quick scroll through these extra cards I thought might be good in the deck. I'll go through them more at the end, but these are things I've kind of tried in different slots, especially those Test of Talent slots. We got Lucky Offering, Fateful Absence, Revitalize, Wandering Emperor, Sunblade Salamandar, Invoke Despair, and the Gold Span Dragon. So that's the deck. Hope it looks fun. It really makes some big plays. It works great against the meta right now. Great artifact and enchantment removal. And I think it's a lot of fun to play, which counts for a lot. So let's get into some games. Alright, quick disclaimer. I cut out some of the games here. Some are boring. Me or the opponent doesn't draw land. It's just a landslide one way or the other. Whatever, but I do cut some games. I want to show against different decks, different things happening, that sort of thing. And please bear with me, it's my first video, so I'll be working on audio, video improvements and things like that as I go on, but thanks for watching. Let's get into it. Hoping for an enchantments deck. Give me the runes, Give me the ruins. Pretty decent starting hand. We got 2 ways to learn. We've got 3 lands. Yeah. Can set up a big turn 5 play if we can draw the right Invoke here. So this creature I'll probably have to chump block with my Professor. I won't be surprised if it's the Rabbit. Oh, no, it's the Initiate. I'm not sure if that helps him. I guess we'll see. Test of Talents is not very helpful. Let's get in and get out a blocker. Get Environmental Sciences to keep the land train rolling. Kill a little bit. Definitely need a Doomscar against this matchup, I'd say. Yeah, it's tough. They're kind of hitting it all, aren't they? So that will get us a 2-2 back if we have to wipe back this turn. That's worst case scenario, I guess. We got 2 red. Let's get 2 whites on the board. Let's kill him and get a blocker, I suppose. Or do we just go big and try to get the board wipe? No, I think we have enough life we can try to delay another turn here, hopefully. Next turn we can do a Windfall, which will set us up for a Volemachus. Which we could actually use to scour for a Doomscar. Regroup a little bit here. Except they got all the removal to go with their aggro. So not bad, not bad. If they draw aggro creature, we're in quite a bit of trouble. Not sure if we're supposed to do Sciences. Windfall would... Lorehold would be great, but I think I've got to try to survive another turn. So what are we getting rid of? We're getting rid of one of the Sciences, I think. We're never going to have time to cast... Well, that is life. Let's get rid of the Test of Talents. Okay, we got the Farewell. We want to cast that next turn if we survive. It's kind of a risk here. If they draw a hasty creature, we're done, but I guess that's a chance we got to take. Even if we do Farewell. Oh no! Wow, they got the nuts right on cue for us, huh? Good draw, bro. Good draw. Okay, well, we don't have great options here. We can put down a blocker, get up to 5. I don't think that gets us there, does it? If we do a Windfall, discard, and we draw a land and a Doomscar, we got a chance. I guess that's our only hope. Let's try it. Nope. Was not meant to be. See if we were anywhere near one, just for kicks. Got both of our Test of Talents, but no Doomscars. That's cool. No, still none. Okay. So that's just like one of those maybe where you're not supposed to win. I think we had a pretty good starting hand. We had a good chance, but we were outdrawn. Opponent had it line up pretty nicely there, especially that Spellbinder on the pivotal turn. So let's hope we have better luck this one, and give me runes, please. Give me runes. We need runes. Okay, so this one, we've got 2 lands and 2 ways to get more. So we can for sure get up to 4, which will get us to Windfall, and we're first. So I guess we'll give it a go. This has to be white mana. Right, we need white mana here. If our opponent shows up, there we go. Next turn we can get the Professor down. Hopefully draw a land too. I mean, I would not be sad if I drew a land. Sometimes I feel like by doing the Professor, getting the Sciences, I'm shuffling my land out of the way. We gotta get it. This is not a good matchup either. So let's hope the Test of Talents can do something for us, huh? Okay, I like that card. Completely fine with that. Let's do the Sciences. Looks like we're more towards a red source of importance. I think we go in and attack. Blame me. You gotta make him have it, right? So that eliminates Blood on the Snow since we got him exiled. Okay, we're zombies. Okay. We're not doing well in the land department, but between the way the deck is kind of constructed, we're forcing ourselves to get lands. So we get up to 4 guaranteed, which will get us a windfall. When we get the windfall, we'll be able to start holding up Test of Talents. And I think at that point we can try to work our way towards getting a Volemachus down. They're zombie, they're probably not super heavy on counters. They might have that amalgam guy, 4 cost, exploits and counters a spell, but that would be our main concern, I guess, for their counters. Usually the zombies can't fit in enough else to make it work. Well, we're still just doing lands, it looks like. So I think with this, we don't have... We'll get a second white, just in case we need a Doomscar. We are going after zombies after. And this one we'll go for the red. Oh no, we don't. We're out. What would be good? I think we'll get a reduced to memory just to get rid of any big threat that they might have. Something that's, you know, getting them something by dying. I feel like zombies has a pretty good array of that. Opponent looks to be more of a control type zombie. Either that or they maybe are just heavy on removal in their hand at this point. I guess we'll see how this goes. If they don't have anything else though, we've got Windfall. So he's gonna 3-4. Okay. Well, don't think I'm too threatened by him just because he is 3-4. Can double block him, and if not, you know, 3 damage. Not necessarily the end of the world. So I think we get rid of the reduced memory. Alright, there's our Doomscar. I don't think we have any reason to play it yet. Let's do no attacks, block what we can. And then we're in Volemachus territory here, actually. He can come down next turn if they're tapped out. If they're not tapped out, I probably won't bother. Not going to be blocking any decayed creatures when my life is above 20, that's for sure. Let's see, they're looking for cards. They've only got 2 mana. 3 mana. Okay, zombies are flying, that's cool. That's actually a great time for a Doomscar, I'd say. And then, you know, after... let's see if we can get in some damage, right? These guys are nothing. I mean, if we get in some damage, sure. I don't have any way to stop this from happening. They're not getting any benefit from anything dying, so let's do it. Got Test of Talents if they try to do, you know, some Blood on the Snow or something like that. Yeah, that's the one I'm glad they didn't have down last time, because that can get out of hand pretty quickly. But we are in Volemachus turf. Just the fact that I can get him back with the Invoke Justice next turn. Otherwise I probably won't be attacking with him, honestly. I think we start building a board, right? And let's just do that. thought about going face there, but it's just good to get him out of the way in case they get more zombies on the board and do like a whole slew of them coming at us. If he can't kill the Volemachus, it's over. And look at all the gas we got left in our hands. I mean, geez. We got Invoke Calamity, we could Lorehold you a couple more times, we could Igneous you, we could get more cards with Unexpected Windfall. We even got the Flame Blessed Bolt to do with the Lorehold. Yeah, good game. Good game, zombies. Three lands, way to get more stuff. We're first, let's do it. It's definitely better against an aggro type deck, but oh, maybe we got our ruins. Watch me get smoked by ruins. Alright. What do we want to see this turn? If it's not a good creature, I don't really want to use my Igneous on it. Oh, nothing? Okay, we got our Kami Smacker, which is great. I think for our Seize the Spoils, what are we going to get rid of? We get rid of the Lorehold, that's just so far off. Okay, we got 2 lands. Alright, let's have this be the other way of the last game. Huh? They are a ruin type deck. I'm not sure what they're up to here. It seems like not much is happening with them. Do I want to hit him in the face just to get a card? I think at this point we're in a good point to go slowly with the Farewell in our back pocket, so we'll keep it slow. Love to see a Kami and toss down a Flame Blessed Bolt on him. Okay. Unless they attack without this, not a lot I can do with it, but depending what they play next turn, should still be able to take it out, hopefully. So we play a Marius Call tapped. Take care of Helena and Alana. Guess we get a Sciences, because we don't really... We've got 2 other removals. Yeah, let's just get a Sciences. And then do we want to cast it? No, because we have a land already. Let's leave it at that. Volemachus is looking good now. Probably should have got rid of one of the Evoke Calamities, but it's not necessarily expecting to be in such great spots with the lands here. I wonder if they are also trying to bring something back from the grave. That one. We do have mana for Invoking Calamities now, so I think let's get this guy in play. And let's just get a Sciences. Let's keep going with the land. Then when we get stuff, we're ready for it, right? Got 5 white, not quite enough red, so let's pop the red. Alright. Not quite sure what they're up to here. Another Alana and Elena, okay. You have something to play with it. Okay, yes. I'll attack into that, see what happens. Oh, or not, no need necessarily. Huh? I think now we go for the mascot after we kill this just to get some stuff going. See if they want to protect it. And they do, okay. Sure. Then I could actually do an Invoke Calamity during their turn. So, because we do have the Seize the Spoils. Alright, your turn. See what we need with the Invoke Calamity, I guess, honestly. Don't have a 5-drop in there. I was hoping this was Ruins, but it's some sort of mid-range deck here. So they're going to put counters on that. I'm going to kill it. So that one's going to go up to 4, which I guess is a bit of a problem. But neither one have trample. So maybe I can just ditch them all. Next turn I'll go with the farewell perhaps. If I invoke Calamity, I think let's just do that. Let's just do that. The Luminarch might be a little bit of trouble next turn, but nothing I can't deal with. I think what we're going to do is we're going to kill them both, right? Lots of learning this hand. It's given us a good card advantage. Got 2 sciences, another one. Okay, I really want to keep that around, I guess. He does have first strike, he's indestructible, it's their turn. He's 4 in power. Let's do no blocks. We'll get him next time. Get the Flame Blessed Bolt if we can. I mean, honestly, we'll have Mascot down perhaps. Got good defenses in place, I think we just stick with that. Our Calamity is probably not a great play right now, we can get a Seize. So that's going to make that bigger. Let's just get rid of him right away. Two Tamios, okay. So the Ganjo is nice. Could have been a land for us, but we got to use it as removal, which is great. And yeah, okay, good game. We had a lot of power left in our hand there. I don't think we were going to lose that one. We're using double invocations, Boros colored, trying to get some big creatures back and also recast some spells from our graveyard. This looks like a decent starting hand. Well, white and blue is probably our worst matchup. Unless they're not the boring control type, but I think we'll see a lot of counter spells here. Counter spells and planeswalkers probably, huh? Let's see. Let me just do that. I'll get in for a little bit of damage. I'm not very hopeful of this one. Unless they turn out to be more of a planeswalker type deck, then we got a chance. So there's one where the Lucky Offering would be nice, but luckily, you know, we can just do the rip apart. I'm not thinking that they have very many creatures from the look of it. Hopefully we can get some other stuff to take care of their planeswalkers down the road a bit. But don't really want to let them have that Celestis running wild. I guess we can play this and get another Sciences just to make sure we stay ahead of the mana curve here. Hopefully get them when they're tapped out and get Volemachus down. Oof, okay, well, maybe we have a rip apart for that boy, huh? So this looks like it's going to be one of them decks. Let's see, do we need that other two? Nope. Let's get that down. Just play Sciences. 2, 3 red, 1, 2, 3 white. Well, let's just split it because we've got one in our hand. Get in some more damage here. What's kind of missing in this game, we haven't got any treasure generation. I think if we would have had some treasure generation, we'd be in a much better spot right now. But, you know, you can't always get everything, right? I think we'll hit him in the face here. I'm going to keep hoping to kill their Hive of the Eye Tyrant and... yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll be able to get Volemachus down next turn if they don't have any mana open. But they might just keep mana open. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4 white, 1, 2, 3 red. So I guess we'll get a red. See what happens. I'm not, like I said, I think they'll probably counter us, but maybe we can do the mascot exhibition first to try to fish something out depending on what we draw. Okay, that's decent. We do have some damage in our graveyard, I believe. You know, it's possible they don't have the Saw It Coming. Possible, I said, not likely. They have a meat hook, that would take out that. So I think we just go big. I mean, I think they're going to have some sort of instant speed answer for it, but let's go for the mascot exhibition. You know, when they use the mana to take care of it. Well, it feels better on that than it would on the Volemachus, I guess. Yeah, see, like that. So now we can get in with Volemachus. And hopefully make something great happen here. Or we could just do this. And then get in with Volemachus. I think we get in with him now, and that's our next turn. We only have 7 anyway. We have 1 more mana for that. I mean, do we care about Lolth? I think we let them get some cards. No? That's a tough call. If we get him down to 4, we can kill him. If they tap out. And that's tough. So I could get rid of the Doom Scar. If I have 1 Igneous there. So another Igneous would get me to lethal if they don't block. Okay, well, we have a chance anyway, I don't know. It's possible they'll tap out to kill Volemachus. And then we can invoke Calamity them to death. No, they don't tap out, so that's kind of a bummer. But they are down to 4, 3.
Run! But we will catch you.
So do I want to do it now or on their turn? I think we just do it, right? Alright. Good game. Good game. There's the direct damage sneaking in there. Fortunately, we lost a couple rough ones in some aggro decks. Alright, let's see who our next opponent is. That last matchup was good because that's not usually the type that I feel like we pull out. Usually we don't get in there fast enough, I think. But getting the 2 little guys on board right away put on a little pressure, and that made the difference. And that one's got to go because we've only got 1 land. And we've got 2 lands and no way to get more, and we're first. So with this hand we've got to draw a land to even have any hope, and we're already getting rid of one. If we mulligan and get less than 3 lands or nothing to do though, then I think we just gotta hope we draw something. Not that. I was only running 2 of the Invoke Justices for a while, because they sometimes would show up a little bit too prevalent like that. Well, I guess we might as well kill that. Draw a land here. No, that's too bad. Well, next turn a land is still good. If we don't get one in the next turn or 2 though, I think that's going to be our doom. Yeah, take your pick, buddy. Yeah, probably the right choice. We got a land, hey. I don't think I'd Doomscard just one of these Spellbinder though. Okay, 2, sure, maybe. It's a lot of damage on board. Probably got a Thalia coming next turn. Guess we Doomscar and hope for more land. Jesus Christ. Wow. What a draw, buddy. What a draw. Well, this would be a good turn to draw land. Otherwise, you know, we'll survive another turn or 2 for sure. I think we're quite at farewell stage. Otherwise, we'll do Windfall if we don't draw land for Volemachus. Oh, nice. We kind of got a land, but not quite, huh? So what are we going to discard then? Should almost be discarding that with the Windfall. I think that's the way to go. Risky. Wait. Okay, how much mana is it? 3. Okay, what if 6, 7 mana for my Invoke Justice, which is the same as Volemachus, so this will work if we just discard him. And then I don't think they'll really have an answer for a 9/9 Volemachus. But we'll see. GG land. Yeah, see that Volemachus does a really good job of getting around a lot of removal. Wandering Emperor is fairly worthless. Just doesn't, you know. Oh no, one good thing we got the land, I guess, huh? So it's taken 8 mana, we got 8 down.
Strike fast and strike hard.
It's gonna take you a while, and I'm gonna kill that turn. So I think we're gonna be in good shape. Let's just do our justice and have at it, right? As long as we get a removal for one of those 2, we'll be in good shape. Don't tell me they have the Fateful Absence. Okay, so we want to do the Lorehold command. We're going to do 3. And then create a blocker. Right? So let's do 3, 2, 1. If we take out Thalia, just first strike. 4 damage. Let's just take out the Spellbinder. Hey babe, what's up?
What are you doing?
I was recording a video.
I'm sorry.
That's alright.
Okay, well, let me record then.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Alright, back to the game. Does not look like they have found the answer for Volemachus. I think we attack first. Just to see if we, get anything we want to kind of cast for free. I mean, Windfall, ditch this. There we go. Yeah, I don't think they could have overcome that. Even a brutal Cathar, we remove that right away and go back to just killing it. So we got taxed like mad and still managed to pull off a tight brawl with mono white. Well, let's get in one more hand here and see where this goes. Haven't had any of the really long, drawn-out, go through the whole deck type matches yet, which I did have 2 of earlier. I had one match where I decked myself, went through the whole library, drawing, discarding, and then another match where I managed to stave off a mono black deck by getting them out of cards, just a few rounds before I would have ran out. So for starting hands, this is something where we'd have to draw a land the first 3 turns, so it's kind of a risk. But if we do, we have Doomscar and Inspiration and Windfall. I guess let's give it a try. These are the kind of hands I would like to see a Professor. Yeah, we'll see. Might not even need this Doomscar, but got the mana for it. I might as well get it out of my hand. Alright, well here's another one of our fail-safes for lands. Let's see if it works. And it did. We'll lose a Windfall, but we've already got 2 in hand. I mean, unless we draw another land off the top, that would be great. Oh, and we did. That's amazing. Okay, so we'll do a Windfall, ditch a Windfall. And this is one of those matchups where it might be nice to have the Test of Talents in hand, actually. Just to get some removal. Although if we top deck an untapped, we'll be in good shape here, I think. Not meant to be this time, but it's alright. We'll start setting everything up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 7 for the Lorehold. We'll be able to retaliate around later, so I think we just hold and do either the command or Windfall, depending on how this next round goes. How many rounds? 8 more, okay. Before we get into crazy mana land. So what is black going to do with a lot of mana anyway? A sneaky light up the night or something like that in there. Okay, Warlock class, that's alright. I think we discard. Oh, no, I think we're going to want to play that now. Yeah, so I think we do the Lorehold command.
I bring my own army.
So they're all tapped out. It's great. They probably do have a way to bring that back, but would love nothing more than to hit that with the Test of Talents.
One more match.
Alright, another Doomscar, which we do not need. I did have to use one of my treasures there. So I think that means this turn we maybe Igneous that guy, just to get another land in play. And we'll get some aggression on board. Start getting some damage in. Let's see. Do want to hold a... Yeah, I'll be able to hold a Test of Talents too. So be able to pop one down, 1, 2... Doesn't matter anymore because that'll be number 6. Oh, they do have to field a ruin though. Okay. Either way, I think we're good. So if we get lucky and they tap out again. Okay, wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So now we bop in with a Lorehold. They hopefully not exile him. And then we can hit back with him next turn again. That's why it's not always great to discard him, especially if you're going against a deck that's more control oriented. You really don't want to discard him unless you have to. So this one, I mean, we can just get a crap ton of cards here. We're going to discard Doomscar. I don't think we need a Doomscar. We've already got one in the back pocket. And a graveyard. Let's do a Reckless Impulse. So we're basically getting 4 cards and 2 mana here off of our attack with Volemachus. At this point we have a pretty significant advantage over the opponent. It's not to say they can't come out of it, but I feel really good having this Test of Talents in hand, because any removal they want to try, aside from a meat hook, is, I can take care of it. If they meat hook it, we just come back with Invoke Justice, and we're probably game over. Right? Tapped out again. It's up to 15. We're going to hit for at least 9. So let's just start with that, I think. And if we draw off the top something we can hit for 3, like a Lorehold command, or another Igneous Inspiration, we got him. Yeah, speak of the devil. Grab a Science, doesn't matter. See if they have any way to gain a life here or not. So those are the kind of things that I like to see, like pull out just a crazy turn like that where it just comes out of nowhere. And there's really, I mean, he took care of the problem, but the problem came back in a bigger fashion. It's kind of fun, And we get the Invoke Calamity in there. You saw how that's kind of cool to get the Unexpected Windfall plus the Reckless. I mean, that's like 4 cards right there for your next turn, and bound to find something you can use to finish it off or get it in that direction. We're hoping to get a hand against Ruins here, so let's see if we could be so lucky. They're kind of the meta deck right now, so I feel bad not showcasing it against them. It's actually one of the reasons I came up with the deck, because I was getting beaten by the Ruins, so fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. It's a tough starting hand. Guess we'll give it a go. I think that's probably one thing I should do is mulligan more. I seem to do better with mulligan more. But I guess we might as well get the Professor down and get the land train rolling. No reason not to. Okay, I'm not too worried about that. That'll be a while. Okay, that's actually decent for there. I think what we'll get rid of is I think we get rid of the Volemachus, right? To draw land. Come up big. Okay, well, we'll see what happens next turn. You might as well start getting in there. I don't think they'll trade their Valk. Okay, they didn't hold up instant speed removal. This should be a great turn for us. Another way that we can use this now is we can use the Invoke Calamity also to get this creature back again, so that might not be something they're considering. So I like our position here. Can definitely get rid of, I think we let them keep their Valky for now, honestly. Not too concerned with it. Let's see, let's get another land so we can hard cast Volemachus when we get him back. And they're at removal or bust time in their game here. I think they're desperately looking for an instant speed removal. Yeah, they got it. If we draw land, it doesn't matter. There we go. Does that work? That doesn't work. We don't have enough red mana, do we? So maybe do we want to get red mana down and then kill their Fable? I think that's probably the best move we can do right now. Hope they don't have just a ton of removal. We're like 2 lands away from wanting to get our Volemachus back as well. Lorehold Command will get us that. Oh no! Okay, that's kind of a bummer. So I guess we'll just get our own back now. We'll kill those 2 next turn. And the World Tree is not that useful right now, especially considering that's already going to be untapped. 2. That'll leave us 1 short. I maybe should have played that one just for the tapness, but that's okay. I think well, we got sad there, but we're in a good spot. We'll be able to play our Volemachus next turn or the turn after. No, maybe not, because we did kind of have a bad sequence. Okay, those 2 I'm not like too sad about. What do we still have in the graveyard? We have a Season and Igneous. We could do a Rip Apart and an Igneous. We can do an Invoke Justice. Get the Professor. I think we have a lot of options still. kind of a risky move. I'm not going to block him this turn. We'll get him next turn. If we don't have Volemachus coming in anyway. Okay, so we do have Volemachus coming in. Looks like there's really nothing they can do about it. Or do we want to just kill their stuff, really? If we do an Invoke Calamity, what do we get? We can kill that with a discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We could have 7 mana. Let me do that. Get the 2 life. And we still have enough to do our Invoke Calamity. We'll do it before they attack. Because if they do grab the cards, I'm not sure that we can still get them. So let's just do that. We don't mind discarding a card. So I think. Oh, I've looked at her. Well, do Lore Command on the Harvester. Make another creature. And then we've got Volemachus. Now we get some damage coming in. We've got a lot of options. I think we attack with everything. Maybe not. Oh no, not the meat hook. Okay, but they're tapped out, so. Jeez. Imagine a Doomscar here or something like that. How awesome that would be, huh? Almost assuredly I will double cast. I'm too worried about the graveyard. Oh, okay. Well, that's really tough. So do we want to get the Volemachus? I mean, I think we have to while they're tapped. I think we pop the World Tree down just to solve all of our mana issues. Cat playing over there, of course. It's actually like the last thing I would have wanted there. Okay, well, if they don't have removal, we're still in good shape. Either way, pretty good game with a mid-range type deck. They're down to 4. It's really, I'm honestly thinking we should be okay here. Yeah, that'll do it, right? Let's just do it now before they can defend it. We're going to kill that. We're going to draw a couple cards. You know what? Yeah, I think we draw the cards. Okay. So I guess we're probably not gonna. I mean, we definitely could Windfall, but I think we're gonna go with the Reckless Impulse, get some more cards. Yeah, with that, I don't think the Invoke Justice is gonna really get us anywhere. That's okay. We can grab any permanent, so if we do happen to get another creature down, we can grab a land and, you know, give it +4/+4, which is, you know, not great, but that's alright. This too, if they take something, I'll take the card draw any day. Alright, so what do we have in here? Do we have any creatures? No creatures left. And we could Doomscar, we could Amirius Call. I think this way, this gets us some lethal damage on board. We'll have to kill their own creature to kill it. So I think that's the way to go there. Definitely can discard this Invoke Justice. Nest coming down to the wire. Ooh, and then Soren. Okay, if they make a flyer.
You will serve me well.
I think that'll do it, right? Any degree of burn would have done. I reckon. That's game. Good game. You could see even in that game, despite the opponent having quite a bit of graveyard hate, we were able to get use out of our recursion type cards, and we were still able to get back plenty of spells. We did have a couple of wasted invocations in our hand, but we ended up being able to discard them to get more cards, so that's kind of the beauty of that. Let's have a quick look at the deck, kind of do a little finishing up here. It is called Solar Eclipse, Boros, little splashes of other colors here and there. I was using the Test of Talents to combat our most difficult matchups, i.e. things that counterspell, those mono black control where they get blood on the snow and keep getting things back. So Test of Talents has been good there. Instant speed removal for our Lorehold. I think that's one of the main barriers sometimes. If you go through all your Loreholds and all your Invoke Justices, there's not a lot of great ways to deal damage. You're just kind of left with the Professors, a little bit of burn, and then maybe a mascot exhibition if you could get that down. But basically, we're ramping with Seize the Spoils, Unexpected Windfall. We have Professor of Symbology, Igneous Inspiration to kind of help guarantee our land drops. We have a flexible variety of spells that we can replay with our Invoke Calamity. I think Rip Apart is pretty underrated with its ability to get a Planeswalker, a creature, an artifact, or an enchantment. A lot of these other, like Reckless Impulse, Test of Talents, can also group together with Unexpected Windfall to hit a 6 total mana cost for Invoke Calamity, and otherwise the Igneous Inspiration and Seize the Spoils work very well, and occasionally you can get the Flame Blessed Bolt together with a Lorehold command or a Doomscar, which with Invoke Calamity you can actually cast at instant speed during the opponent's turn. Same with Farewell, hitting that at instant speed during an opponent's turn can kind of end the game sometimes. We also have our star, the Volemachus Lorehold. He gets us lots of spells. There's some turns, if everything works out great, turn 3, you play a Seize the Spoils. Turn 4, you've got 4 white mana and 1 mana of anything else. If you discarded this boy with Seize the Spoils, and you've got the Invoke Justice in your hand, on turn 4 you've got a 9/9 haste vigilance flying creature coming into play that also casts a spell off the top of your library for free. So that's on turn 4, you're possibly hitting for 9, maybe also casting an Invoke Calamity to get a couple things from your graveyard. There have been times where I've popped an Invoke Justice to get a Professor of Symbology back and then further buff my Volemachus, make him 13/13 on turn 4. Pretty ridiculous and gross. But the deck seems to hold up well against most control decks, most aggro decks. It has a lot of options for dealing with things. Sometimes you get heavy in the sideboard because there's so many ways to do so, especially considering like recasting some of these. And then you get into the reduced to memories, which are really great against most decks out there. I mentioned during one of the gameplay videos how Volemachus dodges a lot of removal. He doesn't tap to attack, so that gets rid of that sort of removal. He also is a dragon, so that gets rid of power word kill. He's 2 colors, so he's not going to be exiled in that way. And just like his mana cost is 7, so a lot of the other ones where you have to pay based on mana cost or can only affect certain mana cost, it's not going to work. The 4 Doomscars are great for removal. Somehow, some games I can go through 30 cards and not see one. But, you know, there's still a lot of times enough to get by against a heavy aggro deck even without the Doom Scars. So add those in, and, you know, there's sometimes you look at the match and, you know, by round 4, maybe 5, you already know you're going to win, even if you can't necessarily finish it off right away. But that's a deck. Hope you like it. Solar Eclipse, Boros, Recursion, double 4 cost spells of each color. And, you know, feel free to add a Invoke Despair instead of one of these Test of Talents. Done it before, works great. I added in the sideboard some cards down at the bottom that I've tried that work well. Wandering Emperor, you know, is not a spell. That's kind of why I popped that one out. I think you could get more aggressive with the Gold Span. You could also, in here, another good one to add to that list would be Revitalize. And I think, you know, putting that into the sideboard as one card, I might as well go for the Good Heart, right? That could be really helpful. You get to draw a card, you gain 3 life. It's a 2-mana drop that works with the Invoke Calamity. You know, in a way it kind of helps you sift through and get to more land as well early game. So I could see adding those in, maybe instead of the Rip Apart, Reckless Impulse, Test of Talent, some of those kind of spells. You could even try tossing out a Doom Scar since you've got the Farewell and the Undo Inversion. But this is kind of where I've settled at with it and what's worked well for me. So I hope you guys try it and enjoy it, and I hope to be putting out some more videos in the future with some other non-meta exciting decks that, you know, are actually fun to play. So peace everybody, have a good one, until next time.